Greetings, my lovelies. Hi, it's Emmy. Welcome back to another Versus Taste Test. Today, I'll be comparing Trader Joe's candy bars to their originals. So Trader Joe carries two types of candy bars, one called the Quasar bar and one called the Boffo. And based on their description, they sound a lot like a Milky Way and a Snickers bar. So here's our lovely Snickers bar, and this is milk chocolate, peanuts, caramel, and nougat. This is 52.7 grams or 1.86 ounces. So there is the Snickers bar. So this is the Boffo, and the Boffo is peanuts, caramel, nougat enrobed in milk chocolate. Sound like the same ingredients, right? This is 1.8 ounces as well, 51 grams, so slightly lighter. Ooh. So in terms of size, they look nearly identical. The Boffo looks like it might use a slightly darker milk chocolate. And in terms of height, it looks like the Boffo is slightly taller. If we look at this cross section here, we see that the Boffo has a much higher ratio of nougat and looks like has less caramel. Interestingly enough, looks like the peanuts in the Snickers are in the caramel and the peanuts in the Boffo bar are actually in the nougat. So these actually don't look that similar. I'm going to try the Snickers first. Itadakimasu. That is a very familiar and friendly flavor. So what I really love about Snickers, both in flavor and texture, there's a lot going on. So texturally, you got that exterior of that milk chocolate crunch, and you get through that oozy, kind of soft, stretchy caramel, and then you get lots of crunchy roasted peanuts, which I just adore. And then you've got the nougat that kind of binds everything together. Of course, everything is very sweet, but there is a good amount of salt in there as well. So it's quite a balanced candy bar. All right, let's go ahead and compare that with the Boffo. Wow. There's really no comparison, really. This is not a dupe. This is not trying to be a Snickers bar, or if it is, it's failing tremendously. Because this is nothing like a Snickers bar, actually. It says it has peanuts in it, but I really don't taste much peanut at all. This is much more of a nougat candy bar. This layer here of nougat is much chewier and stickier and fluffier in texture than the Snickers bar. And of course, as you can tell from the cross section, there's a lot more of it. I like the coating of the outside of the Boffo bar. It's a little less sweet. It's more of a dark chocolate rather than being a milk chocolate. And it's a little bit thicker too, so you've got more of this kind of a crunch. I don't care for the interior as much. I don't really like that stickiness that happens in that chew. So now that I've said that this is not a dupe of this, which one do I actually prefer better? Snickers, hands down. Definitely Snickers. Next, let's compare the Milky Way bar and the Quasar bar. So this is 52.2 grams and this is 51 grams. They're going to be very similar in size. Milky Way bar is rich chocolate, creamy caramel, smooth nougat. Quasar is whipped chocolate nougat and rich caramel enrobed in dark chocolate. There's the Milky Way bar. And there is the Quasar. The Quasar looks to be a bit longer and narrower than the Milky Way. As you can see, the Milky Way bar is wider, and the percentage of nougat to caramel looks more like 50-50 as opposed to the Quasar bar, which looks more to be 2-to-1 in terms of nougat to caramel. And it looks like the nougat may have some chocolate in it as well. Again, let's try the original first. It tastes like Halloween. That's the only time I would eat these. Nice little milk chocolate crunch on the top and bottom, and the inside is just really supple and soft. The caramel is not sticky, just slightly soft and chewy, and the nougat's really fluffy and not at all chewy. Very sweet, but very nostalgic. So let's compare that with the Quasar bar. So the Quasar bar has a dark chocolate coating rather than a milk chocolate coating, but in thickness, it's about the same thickness as the Milky Way. So it has that same kind of textural crunch. The interior, though, is a little less soft than the Milky Way, which is just really soft and tender. This one tastes a little less sweet. It has a little bit more bitterness in the dark chocolate coating, and the interior doesn't seem to be as sweet as well. I think in totality, I like the Quasar bar better than the Milky Way. Now that that you think about it, there is this kind of intergalactic space theme going on. We have Milky Way and Quasar. So who wins this battle between Milky Way and Quasar? Bing, 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 bing. Quasar bar for me. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know in the comments if there are any other battles or comparisons you'd like to see. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, follow me on social media, and I will see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye!